Shalom, brothers and sisters. Rasta Vida here, and welcome to my channel. So, there's been a lot of words on the internet about prophecies for the Hebrew year and the Gregorian year, the 2024, and the Hebrew 5784. Now, a lot of people are claiming that this is the year for the rapture. It is not. This is false information. This is quite misleading. It's scaring a lot of people, which is not correct. We should not be doing that. And people are just speaking their mere thoughts and feelings. This is not the absolute truth. Okay? The people that do have spiritual eyes and truly understand with Ruach HaKodesh, I will show you and I'm going to explain it to you what the theme is for this year. Now, I know it's already started, but the Ruach HaKodesh actually prompted me today as an urgency to speak truth. It's getting a little bit carried away, and there needs to be some spiritual discipline with real information, revelation. With this information, it will bring confirmation of what it really is in the physical and spiritual realm. So I just want to stretch that out. If you find anybody that is misleading, please do not continue on with that. Do not be deceived. We should all be seeking Yeshua and Ruach HaKodesh directly, for him to speak to us. But this is what he has revealed to me. He actually revealed this information to me nearly a year ago. But I was just prompted today in urgency to break it down, to write it down, and to release it, because it's getting a little bit too far, a little bit too carried away. And this is not how believers or so-called believers should be acting or what they're saying. The rapture is not happening this year. Redemption, yes. Rapture, no. Big difference. So I'm going to explain it. I've separated the 2 years so you can see it. I put it in different colors as well. Look, I'm not tech savvy. I've been in the wilderness for a long time, but now coming into the promised land, I have been truly separated from the world. So knowing all this tech stuff, I'm not familiar with. I'm still getting used to it. Have grace with me about it. I'm learning, but I chose my Heavenly Father's spiritual house, and learning His way through in the caves, to me, is more important. But it would be nice to have, people around that do know this stuff, that are really, really strong believers. So I'm believing that I'll be connected to people in due time. Let's jump straight into it. I'm not speaking my thoughts or feelings. I'm speaking what the truth is, what the numbers mean. We all know that Yahweh speaks through numbers. Your birth date has a meaning. You know, the number 7, people know that, like we all know that is a perfect number. So Yahweh does speak to us through numbers. Okay. So let's start off with 2024. Now, the Hebrew Strongs for 2024 actually means hara. Now, hara in Hebrew means is pregnant. That means the body of Yeshua this year is in a pregnancy. So you're feeling an intensity. You're feeling a spiritual, through circumstances around you, a heaviness, an intensity that's pushing you. It's like giving birth. The women know it's like giving birth. The men, it's like a heaviness, to really push through something. It's like carrying the cross. There's a pregnancy that's happening. Or even when Yeshua was hanging on the cross and he said, "Father, why have you forsaken me?" There was a push in the physical and spiritual realm that he gave birth to when he collided and aligned both worlds in line. Okay? The Greek Strongs of 2024 means epichoregia. Now that means to supply. So no matter what anybody is going through in the body of Yeshua right now, he is supplying our needs. Some people might be living paycheck to paycheck. There's still a supply. It might be minimal. It might be the Elijahs where the ravens are giving them minimal food in order to keep going, to persevere. He is our supply, not just the living water supply, but he is our Jehovah provider as well. He provides for us as well in the spiritual and physical realm with spiritual food and physical food. Okay, everything in the Bible and everything that I'm speaking of is a spiritual and physical reflection. Only you can look at your own situation and circumstances and know what the Ruach HaKodesh is telling you. Okay, everybody, yes, we are all on the same boat, but we all have different struggles because we're at different points in our faith. And it's also because of tribes, the tribal warfare, the tribes that we are aligned in. They had strengths and weaknesses as well. This is a battle as well. I will be speaking about this in a different video, but everything aligns to this. This is what this year is about. Now, 20 in Hebrew means redemption. It is not rapture. It is redemption. Yeshua is redeeming us. He is redeeming us from situations, from people, from circumstances. He is redeeming us back to himself. It is not a rapture. Okay? 24 in Hebrew means priesthood. That means he's redeeming us and putting us back into the position of priesthood, of authority, the original authority of creation, of men, male and female, of what it's meant to be, how it's supposed to be. This is what it is. This is what this is talking about. It is not a rapture. It is redemption back to our original position as all of creation moans and groans and cries. We are giving birth to this. We are giving birth to come back into our position, to have our mantles, there's this pushing that's happening. God, this is not what it is. This is not how it's supposed to be. I know there's more. This is not my place. And so there's a pushing, there's a pregnancy. We're giving birth because we're moaning, we're crying, we're groaning. Okay? Now, Yahweh has 72 names. Once again, this will be in another video. The 20th name of Yahweh is Pelelah. Now that means victory over addictions. No matter what you are going through, no matter what sort of addiction, there is victory over all of this. I could name thousands of addictions that people may be in the spiritual, the physical, the mind, and the heart, whatever it is. Point blank, it is victory over. It's victory of and over addictions, okay? The 24th name of Yahweh is He-He-Wah, which means jealousy. Our Yahweh is a jealous Yahweh. He wants us all for himself. He is redeeming us back to himself. As we are giving birth, we are spiritually reconnecting, coming back to our original position as he has been supplying us in our needs. We are being redeemed back into priesthood. Now, only Yeshua can do this because Yeshua is the perfect priest and the perfect king, of course. He is the one that gives the victory. Our Yahweh is a jealous Yahweh. He loves us. We are his children. And he is doing everything this year to stir up, as this chasm is taking place, he will know who is for him and who doesn't want him. Okay? He loves everybody, but who is pushing through this pregnancy and not aborting it will give birth to this supply, the redemption. We're going back to our original spot, okay? 5784, I'm going to switch over to the Hebrew. So if you look at the purple notes, once again, like I said in my other videos, please take a screenshot, save it for your notes. Save it in your gallery, in your phone. Read over it as study notes, prayer notes. This is the true prophetic and the true breakdown of this year, okay? If the Ruach HaKodesh prompts me to do it every year, I will do it. But this is an urgency because it's just a lot of people are floating away in their own understanding, in their own thoughts. And it's... when I was browsing, it kind of got me a little concerned regarding the body of Yeshua. So this is the absolute truth. This is what it is. And this is the theme and the manifestations of this year. 5784 on the Hebrew calendar. The Hebrew Strongs actually had 3 meanings. I wrote them down. One of them was chaff. The other one was to rejoice. And the third was to awaken. Okay. 5784, there is no Greek Strong. So I found that very, very interesting. The Greek Strongs did not go up that high in 5784. So it's strictly a Hebrew side that is happening, not the Greek and Jew, the Gentile. It's going to be an abiding, strictly aligned to the Hebrew spiritual alignment of Yahweh's word, of Yahweh's way, okay? So there's not going to be 2 sides. It's going to be one side. And the chaff will fall away and be burnt. 57 in Hebrew means lament. So lament, and people pronounce it different ways. Lament. It actually means sorrow. 84 means feather and a wing. Okay, we know that one of the faces of Yahweh is an eagle. Okay. So I'm going to expand on extra notes. I just want to go through the points at the moment. So as I said, it's like baking a cake. This is the raw ingredients. I'm going to mix it together and bring it together, and it's going to form a beautiful, beautiful revelation as I do. I like to work like that. I give you the facts, and then I connect it, joining in the mind, heart, and spirit. That's how it is. That's the 3 temples. That's the way we get true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And as you go through these videos with me, you will see how the Ruach HaKodesh works and how he aligns everything, okay? Now, as I said, Yahweh has 72 names. The 57th name of Yahweh is Numeme. That means listening to your soul. Now, as in my other video, a lot of people at the moment are battling in their soul. But the 57th name means listen to your soul. Now, because there's only 72 names, I couldn't obviously get the 84 when I broke down the Hebrew year in the numbers by half to break it down even further for more detail, for more revelation. So I decided to go in the singular digits. The 8th name of Yahweh is Kahetha. It means to diffuse negative energy. The 4th name of Yahweh is Alameh, which means to eliminate negative thoughts. I found this so interesting that the last 2 digits were got to do with negative thoughts, negative energy. The feather wing we know is an eagle. So I was putting it together, and I sat with Ruach HaKodesh, and I said, we'll put all of this together. I see the points. I see the theme. How do I bring this together for the people? How do I, explain in more detail? Okay. So I'm just going to grab my notes. Okay. Now, I would notice that a lot of people that were prophesying on social media about that it's a Jonah season. This is somewhat correct, but to the real point of revelation is that Jonah will be birthed out. So now I'm bringing all of this together. Now we're going back to the pregnancy. Jonah will be birthed out like a pregnancy from the belly, which is the spiritual temple in the spiritual realm. When the fish spat Jonah out, he was completely healed. It was like a pregnancy. The fish birthed Jonah out to start ministry to the people. Many people are in the belly right now. There needs to be complete healing and submission as we are being birthed out of the fish as well. So at some point in this year, the birth is going to happen. Okay, it's going to be aligned to the Hebrew calendar. I already know, but that is a different video. So there is a point on the Hebrew calendar this year where all of this starts to manifest physically and spiritually. Okay, it's a turning point. So many people are in the belly right now. There needs to be complete healing and submission as we are being birthed out of the fish as well and sent to new locations to preach repentance. So it's like a change of direction. It's not a rapture, it's redemption for a change of direction as new things are being birthed out. As we know, the number 4 means Dalet, it means an open door. Now the number 4 is on both calendars, so there's a physical and spiritual door. There's 2 doors that are opening, okay? And it's going to be double judgment or double reward because it's double the intensity. That is why, because the chasm is taking place. That is why there's such an intensity. There's such a fierceness of heaviness. People are saying, I don't know how much longer I can hang on. But Yeshua is saying, hold on. It is labor. It is birthing time. It is like the baby is going through the canal and the seed of Yeshua, the seed of the woman is being birthed out. Okay? So it's happening as we speak. So remember, Jonah preached to the Assyrians. Now the metaphysical meaning of Assyrians, okay? They were prideful in their mind, heart, body, and spirit, thinking that they were their own God rather than to truly submit to Yahweh. So remember, they're quite strong. They're a strong force in the Bible. But we are stronger. Our spiritual force of the Ruach HaKodesh inside of us will break all of these walls of pride. You know, people thinking that they're their own God, can't tell me what to do, can't tell me what to say. But the fierceness and the intensity and the hot oil of the Ruach HaKodesh, when it's given birth, there's going to be a huge harvest. A lot of people are going to be converted. People are going to know how to bring in this harvest because they know how to work. Okay? People will know how to work because they've already been trained for this and they're being released for this. So as Esther represents the bride, she was born for such a time as this. We are born for this. We are giving birth to this and we are born for this. We know what to do. We know how to speak to people. We know how to come against the enemy. We have been trained. We're being birthed into the locations of where he wants us to go. We're being redeemed back to him as we're being called up to the fivefold ministry. The people that are faithful will be released. The people that are faithful, yes, we are called. Yes, we are chosen. But those that are faithful will be released from the belly of the fish and released into new locations and start harvesting and being the fishers of men, as Jonah was spat out from the belly of a fish, as Yeshua is the fisher of men. These people will rise up and be the fisher of men. Watch. Okay? Yeshua is the fisher of men, like I said, and I love saying it because it is fact. But we have to truly submit everything to be fishers of men. Just like how Yeshua is perfectly submissive, Jonah for 3 days had to really sit there and think about, each day represented one temple. The first day, his mind, submissive mind. Second day, heart temple, submit the heart. Third temple, spiritual temple. So he, for 3 days, representing and breaking and being healed from each temple. Then he was ready. FYI fact, COVID has been around for 3 years. A lot of people have been hidden during this time. It is coming up to the 3rd year, or should I say 3.5 years, and the eyes are going to be lifted. Pesach this year is going to be a powerful time. I am doing a separate video for that. I'm working on, there's just so much information overload from the Ruach HaKodesh because the timing of everything is now. So I've been sitting with him, he's leading me, he's guiding me, he's telling me what to say, he's telling me what to write because it's according to his calendar, it's according to the realm of what's happening in the body and in the world, okay? So a lot of people are going to rise up like the Jonas. I'm just getting my notes. Look, I'm not a professional at this, but I'm definitely a spiritual professional with Ruach HaKodesh. Okay? So the church is like a broken eagle, okay? So if we go to the 5784 and know and can see that the feather in the wing obviously, represents the face of Yahweh of the eagle, the dove as well. There's a big sorrow. The opposite of peace is war. The feather in the wings of the eagle, when it's clipped, this is very interesting. So the church is like a broken eagle with clipped wings. So when with Ruach HaKodesh, told me that, I asked him to explain that. And he said, we do want to fly higher, but we cannot as we lament or in such a deep sorrow. So we want to fly. We want to get moving. We want to get out of here. We want to do things. We're like, what's the delay? What's the holdup? Not knowing that, that deep sorrow has been holding back the clipped wings. There's a deeper part of the realm within us in our spiritual temple that is being addressed at the moment as we give birth. So as we're pushing in birth, we're making a spiritual decision. We're not being lukewarm. We're like, I can't do this anymore. Let's push through. Some people, Yeshua is saying to rest. That is excellent. That's their timing. Some people are pushing through because they are the ones that are going to make this happen. When we wind down and slow down, we are able to truly listen to the absolute truth in our soul as our master and healer, Yeshua, mends to our very being as spiritual eagles. Before we can take flight, behold, we have to be bold and courageous. We have to train our eagle eyesight against our true enemy that dwells in the air. So eagles, they fly the highest. They have the most trained, insane detail of eyesight. But guess who happens to be their number one enemy? The crow. Eagles and crows don't get along. So did you know that the only enemy of the eagle happens to be the crow? As the eagle starts to know their real enemy, the crow, which represents wickedness, witchcraft, evil, negativity, our eyes are being trained so we do not become like the crow, which also represents the realm as well. Okay? So that's a very, very interesting fact. So there's like a decision. Do you want to be an eagle, on Yahweh's side, or just moving in the eyesight of faith, or do people want to be a crow or negative and prideful and wicked? So it's like a spiritual condition of the face of the body of Yeshua that is manifesting because people are making a decision. Yeshua is starting to spit out people. There's no more lukewarmness. You're either all in or you're all out. Now remember, when Yeshua was being crucified, there was two men beside him. One said, remember me in paradise. He was being positive right to the very end. He made it. The other guy was very negative. He said, well, if you are the son of God or the son of man, don't quote me exactly how it went down, but I'm just retelling the story. He didn't make it. And I believe a bird came and pecked his eye out. So we need to make a decision. It feels like we're hanging on the cross. It feels like we're giving birth, but we need to be positive. We need to eliminate the negative thoughts. We need to make a decision. Ask yourself, do you want to be an eagle or do you want to be a crow? Because they're two different spiritual faces that represent, the good side of Yahweh, and the crow represents the bad side of the enemy. Okay? As even though there may be sorrow and feeling or thinking like clipped eagles, we need to let Yeshua love us and restore us. So as we're in the belly, There's a time of love and restoration, which is quite strange, but that's what he's doing. He's restoring, he's loving us, he's caressing us, he's nurturing us, he's bringing us back to life. He doesn't want us to be an angry, prideful crow. No, I can do this. And, no, an eagle is trained, eyesight, look, nurtured, love back to life. The wings, the clipped wings are being loved by the master to regain strength again. So let's let Yeshua love us and restore us. Now remember, he loved us first. We cannot go higher or be truly used unless we let him love or nurture us first. Okay? If we don't receive his love first and his healing and his nurturing, we can't do that for others. We cannot be of service to others. Otherwise, that's just secret sin. We're doing it in vain. Yes, we do need to move in faith, but when you feel the nudge or Yeshua taking control of your circumstances and making you slow down, making you stop, there's a reason for it. He's saying, stop, let me love you, let me nurture you, let me bring you back to life, okay? We must diffuse the negative energy and eliminate negative thoughts. No matter how many times the crow attacks, so no matter how many times the enemy may attack, the eagle, we must stay strong, bold, courageous, stay vigilant, allow our spiritual eyes to be trained and restored as our vision takes place, ready to take flight. Now, because there's going to be a change of location as the pregnancy is being done, there's redemption happening. Yes, there is a lot of kingdom marriages. There's a lot of redemption there that's going to happen. Redemption in other ways. I cannot speak for everybody, but I know that the redemption, before we take flight, there must be redemption. We must be loved and nurtured back to life. We must be healed, as the eagle, so that we can take flight and be ready. And that pregnancy, when given birth, we will be restored back to our priesthood, okay? So as we awaken and rise up, realizing who we are in Yeshua, we will rejoice as the chaff will be thrown out and burnt. So the ones that are prideful, representing the chaff, will be thrown out and burnt. But the wheat that bowed down and are submissive as the chasm takes place, we are rejoicing as we awaken. Now, as the truth is manifesting and our spiritual eyes and physical eyes are being awakened, that's Yeshua aligning the physical and spiritual realm of both eyes, and he's telling you, pick a side. What do you want to be, the eagle or the crow? Do you want to abort the pregnancy or do you want to go all the way? Because it's the only way to be redeemed. Only Yeshua stands at this door, so it must be done through Yeshua. And he's asking everybody right now, before I bring you back to myself, before I restore your priesthood, before I bring victory of the addictions, I'm jealous. Yes, I love you very much, but you must give birth to pregnancy. Do you want me or not? The chaff will be burnt. As you awaken, you're going to rejoice. Do not be a sorrowful or lamenting eagle anymore. Which spiritual condition do you want to carry? The crow or the eagle? You need to decide. No more lukewarmness. It's all in. The spirit is now turning into oil and the oil floats. So before we take flight, the chasm and manifestation must take place. This is our free will. So there is no rapture. It's just redemption. And as you break down the truth, you start to understand the battles, what everyone is going through at the moment. There are three realms. We look through the physical eyes, we look through the spiritual eyes, but we also look through the eyes of the heart with our brothers and sisters. So these actually covers through all hearts. So that's why you will understand through the knowledge exactly what the Ruach HaKodesh is saying, because it's speaking to everybody in some way at some point. Okay? I'm going to leave it here, brothers and sisters. Do not be caught up with the phase that's going on that's making everyone fly off like crows. No. Stop listening to the squawking and gawking and stop where you are. Shut down all the doors that are not from Yahweh and let him speak to you in your little cage or, the fish's belly. Let him speak to you, love to you, because he will give you hope and you will rejoice as you awaken to his love. You awaken to the vision, and he's speaking to a lot of people. The deception right now is taking place. There's a lot of deception that the enemy is up to. I know exactly what he's up to. Of course, it makes me spiritually angry, but when you spiritually discipline your mind, heart, body, soul, and spirit, you will understand, because you're slowing everything down to his way, his timing. And it's not easy. It's pregnancy, but it's carrying a cross as well. And you will find who you are, what your destiny is, what your location is, who your kingdom spouse is. All of these things will be revealed when you allow yourself for Yeshua to love you, nurture you, and let the Ruach HaKodesh bring you back to life, because he will tell you through his eyes. Okay? I'm going to leave it here. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Enjoy your night. Feel free to like and subscribe. And bless you all, and see you next time.